Good morning, natural gas. It's Friday, April 24th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of L Trading Company. And for the spot May contract, we're currently down, trading 253.3, down 8.1 cents or over 3%. And as you can see, the RSI has turned lower. And this is now below the 13-period exponential moving average. We couldn't get quite a close over it and get going to the upside. Why? Well, our storage report yesterday, plus 103. That's 10 BCF over expectations, and it was well over last year's plus 77 and the 5-year average at plus 64. So this is putting pressure on the market because we've had mild weather this past week. So that means next week we're going to get another big storage injection. So we're ahead of the curve, where Europe is well behind the curve, and we'll see that in a minute. What else is going on? Golden Pass. Well, Golden Pass had its first export cargo just the other day, and currently right now they're pulling in 375,000 MMBTUs. Again, this is about 40% of the capacity of Train 1, which should come online fully by July. It's slowly moving up, and that's a good thing because we don't want any hiccups here. Europe and Asia both need as much LNG as possible. And right now, we're going to take a look at that LNG. And there is that LNG tanker at Las Rafan, yes, in Qatar. And it's been running shuttle service back up to Kuwait, which does need that gas. And here's the other one that's doing the same thing, Gaslog-Skagen. And it is sitting outside of Kuwait, moving now toward the industrial port so it can offload. So these two tankers are doing shuttle runs of LNG from Qatar to Kuwait. And let's take a look at what else is going on. Well, there's the earthquakes around northern Japan, but guess what else is happening? Way out here in the islands, there was another earthquake. And more importantly, there was one in Tokyo Bay, 4.5 on the magnitude. So we've got to be careful here that the ring of fire is lighting up around Japan, and that could spell trouble because if there's a major earthquake here, they will start shutting nuclear power plants and they will need more LNG for power. So be careful here. It's going to get active very soon. And here's ERCOT. Here's the combined wind and solar for today. We're going into about 31,000 megawatts, and our load is starting to kick up near 68,000 megawatts in ERCOT. That's a good thing here because the weather is starting to warm up a little bit. And that means that natural gas is pulling over 38% of the fuel mix right now. And renewable solar and wind are pulling around, let's see, about it's going up about 40% or so, 45%. So that's a good thing. Natural gas will start taking some market share as the temperatures heat up and the renewables start to taper off here, especially wind. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. And we are holding below the daily pivot, which came in today at 264.10. And we're holding at first support, which is at 254.10. We're just below that. The RSI, though, is slowly inclining. So this is what's called convergence. That means we possibly can go a little bit lower, but then there should be some short covering before we head into the weekend. How about the front to back spreads? Well, with the collapse in the front to back spreads widened out. That's that Jan versus October spread here. It moved up plus 6 cents yesterday. It is now up another penny, 1.1 cents right now to 152. The RSI is turned to the upside, and we're closing above that exponential moving average, simple moving average here, which is the 21-day moving average. So that's positive as well. What about the strip? Well, the strip, not so much. Why? Because of super El Nino concerns. So we've never been able to really get above this low here, which came in at 402.5. And we're moving right now, currently trading at 393.80, down 5.6 cents or over 1.42%. The RSI is trying to turn lower. So we're going to see if it tests down here at that recent low at 384.10 before stabilizing. So let's take a look at the weather in Europe. And as you can see, as we get into May, we're starting to get that colder temperature in the eastern side of Europe. And that means that things are going to be a little bit cooler for Poland, parts of Germany, all the way down to Greece here, much below normal temperatures. and Ukraine, of course, in Russia. But as we move further and further into the forecast period, we start seeing some cooler temperatures come in off the Atlantic for the Isles. That's the UK and Ireland. And then, of course, you start seeing some cooler temperatures for Iberian Peninsula, France, Germany, and of course, again, Poland at the end. But this is mild temperatures overall, slightly below normal. How about storage? Well, the EU is over 30% full. Netherlands now at 8%. Keep going, guys. You have a long, long way to go. Obviously, it's a little bit of disparity here. Portugal at 91%, Spain at 63%, but other places like Sweden, 10%. So we've got a lot of gas that needs to go into the ground overall to reach 80% full. That's the minimum target they need to reach before the heating season, and they'll need all the spot natural gas or and LNG they can get. Let's take a look at the Asian market here. And as you can see, it's fairly mixed until we get toward the very end of the month, toward the 30th. And then cooler temperatures start popping up along the eastern Chinese provinces. And that is most of China here on the 3rd of May. This stays cool. Parts of Japan and the Koreas also staying cool before that next heat wave comes through. And that means we're just kind of mixed here, but cooler toward the end of the month into the first week of May. How about the U.S. nuclear fleet? Well, it's doing quite well, but we're currently right now about 21.2 gigawatts are offline, 21.2 gigawatts. So that is another peak. Again, we can see that things should start tapering off here as these nuclear units start to come back online, ready for summer demand. And here's the Saharan air layer. Yeah, it's a big, big swath of this dust that is going to inhibit any type of development of storms in the mid-Atlantic region. And as you can see, that previous plume of dust made it all the way back up into northern Canada, which is amazing at this point. But we'll see if this continues. This is similar to what happened last year. How about the stocks? Well, it's a sea of red right now. As you can see, everything, including CNX behind me, down 0.29%. It is all in the red because of weakness across the energy complex. How about the recapping here for the spot May contract, currently trading at 252.90, down 8.5 cents or over 3%. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.